Do you think the recent price drop of the Apple Air might be connected to this? Today, I'm diving deep into the Honor Magic 8 Pro Air, basically a Pro packed inside an Air body, or you could say a Pro dressed up as an Air. If you're thinking about upgrading your phone, you'll definitely want to stick around. If you enjoyed this already, don't forget to follow. Thank you. A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Maiky from techmaiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our exciting tech content. Let's start with the box. That little exclamation mark on the packaging isn't just decoration. It actually echoes the shape of the camera module, which is a clever design touch. Inside the box, along with the phone, you get an 80-watt fast charger, a white 6-AT charging cable, a semi-transparent acrylic case, and an illustrated user manual. My unit comes in what I like to call the fairy color. I'm not totally sure how fairy-like it really is, but I feel it pairs nicely with Cook's vibe. The mid-frame uses large diagonal metal elements, and while the camera module looks similar to the Air version, this one feels more thoughtfully designed thanks to its two-layer structure. Those small raised areas help keep the phone stable on a flat surface so it doesn't wobble side to side, which also symbolizes how easy it is to handle. They even make it easier to pick up despite how thin the phone is. The rounded edges won't snag your pockets, and the slightly higher balance point makes it comfortable to hold. On the right side, you'll find the volume keys and power button with a customizable AI button just below. The left side is completely clean, giving the phone a unified, minimalist look. Down at the bottom, there's the SIM slot, microphone, Type-C charging port, and speaker. Up top, you only get an infrared sensor and another speaker. What's interesting is how the openings are staggered, subtly echoing the gold carbon branding. That also means you get true dual speakers on both the top and bottom, which is impressive for such a slim device, especially when the Apple Air only offers a single speaker. Despite being so thin, the body feels solid and sturdy, unlike the Apple Air, which is known to bend easily. The infrared sensor is also a nice bonus, naturally fitting into that remote control lifestyle. Instead of cramming everything into the body like many competitors, this phone feels thoughtfully balanced, kind of like something that looks small but performs big. Up front, you're looking at a 6.31-inch flat OLED display with 1.5K resolution, a 120Hz refresh rate, and ultra-slim 1.08mm bezels, giving it a really clean and immersive look. With a 460 ppi pixel density and peak brightness hitting 6,000 nits, everything appears sharp and crystal clear. It also supports 43 20Hz PWM dimming along with 11 eye care features, including AI defocus protection, which makes it especially friendly for students and long viewing sessions. Performance is handled by the Dimensity 9500 flagship chip. While you can't max out both frame rate and visual quality at the same time in games like Honor of Kings, the actual frame stability is surprisingly strong. For such a compact and ultra-thin phone, maintaining a steady 120 FPS is seriously impressive. It completely exceeded my expectations and creates a powerful contrast that honestly gives you chills. PUBG Mobile runs at up to 90 FPS, similar to Genshin Impact. There are occasional dips, but overall it feels incredibly smooth. And thanks to the dual speakers, something the Apple Air lacks, you can clearly locate in-game sounds, which adds a lot to the experience. As for a certain large-scale FPS title, it supports HD at 120 FPS. Forget the frame numbers for a moment. I'm amazed this game even runs this well on a phone that's only 6.1mm thick. If you're not staring at frame counters, can you really feel any stutter? With gameplay this fluid, calling it unplayable just doesn't make sense. Finally, a major open-world mobile game runs at high settings and defaults to 60 FPS, and the performance is still excellent. Sure, it's not the absolute best, it won't beat a bulky, large-screen gaming phone, but it's clearly better than the Apple Air. And honestly, who buys a small phone specifically for heavy gaming anyway, especially a small Apple Air? Of course, no matter what phone you use, you'll probably still be bad at games, unlike me. On the back, you get a triple camera setup led by a 50-megapixel main sensor with a massive 1.33-inch size. In real-world high-contrast shots, it does a great job controlling window reflections and bright highlights. Even cloudy winter skies keep their detail, and night photos show low noise with plenty of shadow information, really showing off what a large sensor can do. The 50-megapixel ultra-wide camera isn't just there for decoration either. When shooting the same scene at the same time, it keeps up surprisingly well with the main camera. Then there's the 64 megapixel telephoto lens, featuring a 1/3-inch sensor and a 1G plus 3P lens structure. Even at 2x zoom, images stay crisp and detailed. Sure, the extreme 100x zoom is basically unusable, just like on most flagships, but up to 20x it performs very well, making it perfect for concert photography. The only small downside is this slightly longer minimum focus distance. When you try close-up macro shots, it automatically switches to the main camera. Thankfully, that main sensor is large enough that image quality doesn't noticeably drop, and it's still more than capable of delivering professional-level macro results. Portraits are another highlight. Whether you're using the native 3.2x telephoto or zooming the main camera to 2x, the results look great. Background blur feels natural, facial features pop with depth, skin tones look realistic, and even fine hairs are clearly visible. Night portraits are handled equally well, maintaining strong quality even under complicated lighting. Honestly, Honor's imaging has taken a big leap forward. It's impressive enough to deserve its own deep dive. Let's talk about the AI button. When you hold the phone horizontally, it works like a two-stage camera shutter. The first press gives a vibration feedback to simulate focusing, and the second press takes the shot, making it feel surprisingly close to using a professional camera. It also captures high-definition live GIFs and supports up to 14K resolution, so whether you're shooting portraits or macro close-ups, everything looks vivid and lively. The flash system is excellent too. Its 5-lamp X-array design creates a strong sense of atmosphere in photos. Pro mode includes focus mapping to help fine-tune exposure, and video recording supports log profiles with direct LUT application, which really elevates the whole shooting experience. But what truly blew me away is the AI portrait mode. While other brands rely on simple AI fill lighting, Honor has taken this much further. I honestly didn't expect it to work like this. What can I say? It's genuinely impressive. Moving on to the rest of the hardware, there's a huge 5,500 mAh battery, which is even bigger than the Apple Pro Max. Charging is fast too, with 80-watt wired and 50-watt wireless charging. Yes, wireless charging is included. On top of that, you get dual SIM support, NFC for access control, and a 3D ultrasonic fingerprint sensor that unlocks quickly and sits in a comfortable position. It also comes with IP68 and IP69 dust and water resistance, plus a waterproof AI button that even supports unlocking with wet hands. That AI button isn't just customizable for almost every common function, it genuinely adds convenience and fits perfectly into daily use. The system feels incredibly smooth, and the Smart Assistant brings pro-level AI features into this Air body. You can even cancel all subscriptions with a single voice command, which honestly feels futuristic. So here's my conclusion. During my time testing this phone, I realized that even though it's called Air, its competition goes far beyond Apple's standard model or Android's typical compact flagships. Compared to the Apple Air, it wins in nearly every category and still costs less. Against Apple's standard model at a similar price, it delivers a more flagship-grade camera, a larger battery, and more pro-level features, all packed into the same 6.31-inch body while staying thinner and lighter. And when it comes to Android's small-screen flagships, sadly, it doesn't really have any direct rivals. Looking at it this way, the choice feels pretty straightforward. You get the slim, distinctive feel of an Apple Air combined with true flagship performance that's especially appealing for small phone lovers. This is one of the rare Air devices that doesn't sacrifice quality while still offering a full flagship experience. It's basically like squeezing Pro into multiple Air phones, which perfectly explains the name Pro Air. So from 0 to 5, what score would you give the Honor Magic 8 Pro Air? And finally, pricing. The base model starts at 4,999 yuan in China, which is roughly 534 pounds in the UK or about $780 in the US. Wow, that's awesome. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone.